Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back. I have a spooky Halloweeny story for us, and it's not exactly about a spider, but there is a kind of a spider thing. So we have to read it, and you will have to pay attention to see why I'm wearing spider headband today. But it is a super fun Halloweeny story all about one of my favorite characters who is a cat. Now, there are a bunch of amazing cat characters in the world, but this one is one of my favorites. He is black. He's a black cat. And sometimes he goes splat. Do you know who it is? It's Splat the cat. It is. And this book is his Halloween book, and it is so much fun. The name of the book, or the title of the book, is Scaredy-Cat Splat. Oh no, he gets a little bit scared. Do you get scared sometimes at Halloween? Sometimes I do too, because I do not like scary things. And so this is not really a scary book. There's a little bit of a spooky part at the end, but it is not scary. I would never read you a scary book, and I promise that even though it gets a little spooky for just a minute, it's not scary, and it will all be fine, and it will all work out, and nothing bad will happen to Splat or to Seymour, his very best friend, or to anybody else in our story, and nothing bad will happen to you, because monsters aren't real and scary things aren't real, and I would never read you scary stuff. Okay. Now, this book only has one name on it. The name is Rob Scotton, and so I know that Rob wrote the words and drew the pictures. He's so talented. Everybody say, yay, yay, Rob. Yay, yay, Rob. Yeah, he's really cool. Okay, so we're going to read Splat's Halloween book, and it's going to be adorable. Now, do you think this book is going to be real or fake? What do you think? Did you say real? I don't think it's going to be real. This is a fake story. This is a made-up story, right? Because when I look at the picture, there's a lot of things that tell me that it's probably not real. Can you look carefully? Now, one of them is that it's a drawing. Somebody drew these pictures. And so a lot of times if there's a book that is made up of drawings, I think that's probably not a true story. It could be, but very, very, very rarely. It's probably not a real story. And then also, let's look at Splat. So Splat is wearing a costume. Now, some people put costumes on their cats, but cats don't really like that. And I don't think that this is a person putting a costume on him. Splat's choosing his costume. So that cannot happen in real life. And then, who is this? Look, here is his best friend, Seymour. Now, can a cat and a mouse be a best friends? No. What would the cat do to the mouse? He would eat him. He would eat him. They cannot be best friends. Okay, and then look at how Splat is sitting, holding this pumpkin. What do you think? Can a cat sit with his legs open like that, like a person? And can he like have his paws like holding on to the pumpkin like a person? No, that cannot happen. That is very silly. And so I know that this story is going to be fake. And when a story is fake, I like to say fake means fiction. Can you say that? Fake means fiction. Now say fiction means fake. Fiction means fake. That's right. And so there's two main kinds of books, fiction and nonfiction. And a nonfiction book is a real book. So there could be a real book about a cat, and it could teach you about like how to take care of a cat and what cats like and the different kinds of cats there are and what they eat and where they live, right? That could be a real book. And that would be a nonfiction book that was teaching you about a cat. But this isn't a book that's real and is going to teach you about a cat. This is just a silly made up story about a cat. And it is hilarious and adorable. And it is called fiction. It's a fiction book. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we are done learning, I think, for the moment. We are now ready to just have silly fun for Halloween and read this super adorable book together. Look out for the spider, so you'll know why I'm wearing spider headband today. And I hope that you have a happy Halloween. All right, let's read it together now. Come on, join me. Scaredy-Cat Splat. How carefully I turn the pages, boys and girls. Lift at the corner, slide and back. Turn the pages just like that. We never want to grab at the top. That could cause a rip. Or at the bottom. That could tear our book. We never want to grab it in a pinch. Ooh, that could mess up the pages. So remember, lift at the corner, slide in back, turn the page just like that. Mom! Cried Splat. There's a scary spider on my jack-o'-lantern. He's small and hairy with really funny eyes. Splat's voice wobbled with worry. But you're small and hairy with really funny eyes, said his mom. Splat thought for a moment. But I haven't got 8 legs, he replied. If you had, maybe you'd be a scary spider too, teased his mom. Splat made a scary spider face. Ooh. Splat's mom caught the spider under a glass jar. Splat looked closely at the spider. It didn't look so scary now that it was trapped. Could I take the spider to school for Halloween? Asked Splat. We've all made jack-o'-lanterns and everyone is dressing up in costumes and Mrs. Whippy Dimple is going to tell a ghost story and there's a prize for the scariest cat and I want to be the scariest cat. So please, can I take the spider to school? Please? He added without taking a breath. Okay, said his mom. Where's your Halloween costume? Asked his mom. Splat pulled a broom from the closet and sat astride it. Oh, look at me! I'm a scary witch's cat, cried Splat, racing around the kitchen. You certainly are scary, said his mom. Then disaster struck. Splat tripped over his tail and with a crack, the broom handle snapped in two. His scary witch's costume was ruined. Now I've got nothing to wear, Splat groaned. Even Seymour couldn't console him. Splat's mom had an idea. She stuffed some old socks with scrunched up newspaper and tied them to Splat with a string. There, she said. Splat looked in the mirror and jumped back with a squeal. Ooh! I'll scare myself, he said. He looked again and this time he smiled. Look at me, he cried, waving his sock legs. I'm a big scary sock spider. Splat placed his jack-o'-lantern and spider on his wagon and set off to school. On the way, he met Spike, dressed as a mummy, and Plank, dressed as a skeleton. Well, they're pretty scary, said Splat. Seymour nodded and trembled a little. Well, I'm scarier, said Splat. Splat made his scariest spider face and growled. Grrr! Spike and Plank didn't even blink. Instead... Boo! Cried Spike. Boo! Cried Plank. Ah! Splat yelped and jumped high in the air and landed in a heap. Aww, Splat sighed. Spike and Plank are both scarier than me. Seymour nodded and trembled a little bit. I'll never win the prize for scariest cat, said Splat. The sock spider, the skeleton, and the mummy continued on their way to school. Cat school. In class, everyone showed their jack-o'-lanterns. Splat's jack-o'-lantern made everyone laugh. Oh, Splat sighed. I'll never win the prize for scariest cat. Seymour shook his head. Everyone placed flashlights in their jack-o'-lanterns, and Mrs. Wimpy Dimple turned down the lights and whispered in her best ghost story voice. In the dark, dark wood, there's a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there's a dark, dark room. In the dark, dark room, there's a dark, dark box. And in the dark, dark box, There's a ghost! Mrs. Wimpy Dimple cried. Wah! The class jumped with fright. Splat was so startled his tail whipped around and sent his jack-o'-lantern spinning through the air. And what goes up must come down. Splat! Unable to see anything, Splat stumbled around the classroom. Whoa! Whoa! Everyone shrieked as the pumpkin head glared at them and made strange wooing noises. Whoa! Whoa! Mrs. Wimpy Dimple turned on the lights and lifted up the wayward jack-o'-lantern. The shrieking turned to laughter as Splat fell out. Calm down, shh, shh, hushed Mrs. Wimpy Dimple. Now, class, who should win the prize for being the scariest cat? Splat! They all cheered. The end. Oh, Splat ended up being the scariest cat of all, purely by accident. Wasn't that so much fun, boys and girls? Oh, I love Splat, and I love his little friend Seymour, and I love all the adventures that they get into. He's such a sweet kitty, and he has so much fun every day, but especially on holidays like Halloween. Super duper fun. I loved this Splat and the Cat Halloween book. And I hope you did too. And I hope you have a little bit, but not too scary, but little bit spooky Halloween, just like Splat. Thanks for watching. If you love this book and want a copy of your very own, you can get one at the link below. If you had fun reading along with me, please like this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out all the other videos where I read books aloud just for you. I hope I'll see you guys soon and you'll come back and read with me again next time. Bye!